I wanna tell you something about rock bottom that they leave out of the warning. Rock bottom has a floor, and the floor is solid, and you can stand on it, build from it. I know because I found it. I hit every level on the way down, and there are more levels than people advertise. There's the level you think is the bottom that isn't. There's the level after that that you were sure was the bottom that also wasn't. And then there's the actual bottom, which is quieter than you expected and more honest than anywhere you've been in years. Because at the actual bottom, you run out of the performance, you run out of the story, you run out of the version of yourself you've been presenting. And all that's left is the truth, and the truth turns out to be a better foundation than the performance ever was. Rock bottom is the worst address I've ever lived at, and the best foundation I've ever built from. And I didn't understand how those could both be true until I was standing on the floor of it, looking up at what was possible. Rock bottom has a floor, that's what they don't tell you. Rock bottom has a floor, you can stand on it, you can build from it. I found mine on a Tuesday in the quietest room I'd ever been in. Rock bottom has a floor, and the floor is called grace, and it holds everything you bring to it. Rock bottom has a floor. Stand up, stand up, stand up. The bottom gave me honesty in a way that comfort never had. The bottom gave me the conversation I have been too proud to have for 3 years. Because at the bottom, pride is too expensive and the conversation is free. The bottom gave me the room where I said my actual name in front of people who knew it and they didn't leave. The bottom gave me the morning where I asked for help and meant it, fully meant it, without the performance of humility that is actually just shame in a suit. And I look at the bottom now from the floor it gave me, with the foundation it turned out to be. And I think about the me that hit all those levels on the way down, and I wouldn't rescue him early, not one level early, because the floor was where the work happened that the surface never would have allowed. Rock bottom has a floor, rock bottom has a floor, you can stand on it, you can build from it. The floor is called grace, and it holds everything. Stand up, stand up. If you're in the descent right now, you're not sure you're at the bottom yet. I can't tell you where your floor is, but I can tell you it exists. And when you find it, don't rush off it. Sit on it for a minute, let it be the quietest room you've ever been in, and listen to what the quiet says. It will say things the noise on the way down couldn't say, and those things are the material for work is built next. I've been building for 2 years now, from the floor to the bottom I found it. And everything I built has the specific quality of something that was made by a man who knows what the foundation is made of, because he was there when it was just a floor. Rock bottom has a floor, rock bottom has a floor. Stand up, stand up. Grace is the floor, build from here, build from here. Rock bottom has a floor, the floor holds. Stand up and build, stand up and build. Rock bottom has a floor, rock bottom has a floor, rock bottom has a floor. Stand up and build, stand up and build. I've been praying for 30 years, and I want to tell you what I've learned about prayer that took 30 years to learn, because it's not what I was taught, and it's better than what I was taught. I was taught that prayer changes circumstances, and it does. I've seen it. I've been the recipient of it on occasions I can name with specific dates. But I've been changed by unanswered prayers more than answered ones, and that took a long time to say out loud, because it sounds like I'm minimizing answered prayer or softening the doctrine of God's power. I'm not. I'm saying the sequence is different than advertised. And the man who walked into prayer with a specific request came out different before the specific request was addressed. And the difference in the man was more valuable than the answer would have been without it.
Because it changed circumstance.
Given to an unchanged man produces the same result eventually. And God is more interested in the man than the circumstance.
Prayer changes the man
before it changes the room.
Prayer changes the man
Before it changes the circumstance. I went in asking for an answer, and I came out as a different question.
Prayer changes the man
before it changes the room. That's the sequence, that's the power, that's the whole thing. There was a prayer I prayed for 3 years about a specific situation that God declined to change in the way I requested, and I am a better man than the one who started praying it because I prayed it, not because it was answered the way I asked. The prayer required that I kneel in front of something larger than my preference every morning for 3 years, and kneeling daily before something larger than your preference changes the posture of the whole body, not just for prayer, for everything. And the posture change was the answer to a prayer I didn't know I was praying when I started praying the other one.
Prayer changes the man
before it changes the room. I went in asking for an answer,
came out as a different question.
Prayer changes the man before it changes the room. James 5:16 says, the prayer of a righteous man is powerful and effective. And I used to read that as a cause and effect statement about external outcomes. Now I read it as a description of what righteousness is. Righteousness is the posture of a man who has been kneeling long enough to be changed by it. And the power of the prayer is in the changed man, not just the answered request. Which means the most powerful prayer is not the one that moves the circumstance. It's the one that moves the man who then moves in the circumstance from a different position with different wisdom and different posture. And that is power that outlasts any single answered request. That's the power that builds something. I still bring requests, I still ask for the specific things, but I arrive differently than I did in year one. I arrive as a man who expects to be changed by the kneeling, regardless of what happens in the room. And the room has changed more in the years I arrived that way than in the years I arrived demanding the room change first.
Prayer changes the man
Before the room, still kneeling, still changing.
Prayer changes the man
Before it changes the room, still praying, still becoming.
Prayer
Is the work, the man is the answer.
Prayer changes the man
Prayer changes the man. It's midnight, not metaphorically, actually midnight. And I'm in a situation I don't want to be in, and I'm making a decision about what to do next that I want to tell you about. I want to tell you about. I read about Paul and Silas in prison at midnight, singing hymns, and I read that story the way you read a story about people who are different than you, people with a different kind of faith, a cleaner version that doesn't have to work as hard as mine does. But I was in my own prison at my own midnight, and the story came back to me, not as inspiration, as instruction, as the only available option that had any data behind it. And I wanna tell you what midnight actually sounds like from the inside, before I tell you what it sounds like when you start singing in it.
Midnight sounds like
Everything you were afraid of being confirmed simultaneously, in the absence of any voice saying otherwise, and the temptation to narrate the darkness is permanent. But I praised at midnight, not because I felt it, because Paul did, and the walls moved for him, and I needed the walls to move, so I did what worked in the worst possible conditions. I
praise at midnight,
but nothing changed yet.
I praise at midnight,
Something started moving. I
praise at midnight,
I praised at midnight. Yeah. Here's what it looked like in the practical version. It was not a glorious moment. It was me sitting on the floor of my particular prison, saying words out loud that my feelings did not co-sign, saying, Lord, you are good, while the evidence in the room was presenting a different argument, saying, I trust you, while my hands were shaking, saying you are faithful, while the situation had been the same for 11 months, and saying it again the next night and the next. And I wanna be honest that the walls didn't move on the first night or the 11th, but something moved in me before the walls moved outside me. And I think that's the actual miracle in the Act 16 story. The earthquake is the headline, the man who was singing while the earthquake was still theoretical is the story. I praise that
midnight,
not because I felt it,
I praise at midnight,
because Paul did.
I praise at midnight,
Well, nothing changed yet. Something started moving. I praised at midnight. Acts 16:25 says about midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns, and the other prisoners were listening. And suddenly there was a great earthquake, and the foundations of the prison were shaking. And immediately all the doors were opened, and everyone's bonds were unfastened. They didn't praise because the prison opened. The prison opened because they praised. And I don't know the mechanics of that theologically or seismologically, but I know what happened in my midnight when I chose the hymn over the narration of the darkness. The walls moved, and I was different by the time they did, because the praise changed me before the circumstances changed. And that's the sequence: the praise first, the earthquake second, and maybe that order is the whole point. I don't know what midnight you're in, but I know it sounds like what I described. And I know that the option that worked for Paul is available to you tonight. Not because it feels good, because it's the only documented strategy for moving prison walls from the inside.
praise at midnight,
Praise at midnight.
praise at midnight,
The walls move, the walls move.
praise at midnight,
Not because you feel it, because the walls need to move. Praise at midnight.
praise at midnight,
The earthquake is coming.
praise at midnight.
I want to talk about the Monday version of faith, because the Sunday version has a lot of songs written for it. In the Monday version, the one that clocks in at 7 a.m. and sits in a meeting and navigates the politics and tries to be something in a room that didn't ask for it. That version needs a song too. I'm gonna be honest about what it's actually like to try to represent something in a room that wasn't built for it. The meeting that runs 90 minutes and achieves 45, and I'm sitting there practicing the patience that I preached about to my kids on Sunday. And it is considerably harder in the conference room than it was in the kitchen. The colleague who undermines consistently And I have the response ready that would feel very good to deliver. And I'm choosing every Tuesday not to deliver it, because I said I was trying to be something different. And being something different is most expensive, when being the same thing will cause nothing and feel so good. And I wanna be clear about why I keep trying in the meeting, and with the colleague, and in the parking lot when the day has been
Everything.
the day has been, because God clocks in with me. That's why
God clocks in with me.
even in the 90-minute meeting, God clocks in with me. In the conversation I navigate without saying the thing that would feel so good.
God clocks in with me.
And the Monday faith is the hardest version, and it's the one he shows up for too. He shows up for the Monday. Colossians 3:23 says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters. And I used to bracket that verse for the noble professions, the ones that look like working for the Lord on the surface. But the spreadsheet is an act of worship if it's done with integrity. The meeting is a ministry if it's navigated with the character. That Sunday said I had the email is a testimony if it's written as if someone is reading it over my shoulder, who is actually reading it over my shoulder. The sacred doesn't end at the church parking lot exit, it just changes clothes. And the clothes it wears on Monday are harder than the Sunday ones, and more specific and more tested.
God clocks in with me.
He's already in the building.
God clocks in with me.
Before I get to the building, he doesn't punch out when I punch in. God clocks in with me. And the marketplace is as sacred as the sanctuary, if I live it that way. If I live it that way. This is for every person who has a faith on Sunday, and a Monday that tests it, who has said something at church and then been in a situation where saying it cost something real. The testimony is not on the platform, it's in the meeting room. It's in how you handle the colleague who undermines. It's in the integrity of the spreadsheet. Nobody is checking, it's in the patience. In the 90-minute meeting, when 45 was more than enough, that's where the faith lives, in the practice version. In the places where nobody gave you a microphone and nobody is watching, except the one who is always watching, and to whom all of this is offered. I clock in tomorrow at the same time I always do, and something will happen between the parking lot and the desk that will test what Sunday said I was. And I'll have the choice I always have, and I'll make the one that costs something, 'cause God clocks in with me. And the marketplace is where the sermon gets the final exam.
God clocks in with me.
God clocks in.
He's already in the building.
Monday faith,
The hardest version.
he shows up for Monday. God clocks in with me. The marketplace is the sanctuary, if you live it that way.
Clock in.
God's already there.
Clock in. God's already there.
Shane came by again last week. Same knock it always has, and I watched it from the window of the new address. And I didn't answer, not because I wasn't home, because it had the wrong address. I used to live in a house that Shane knew well. It had the spare key, it knew which door stuck, it knew which floorboard to avoid, to get to the bedroom at 3 a.m. without waking anybody. And Shame lived there, the way Shame lives places, quietly enough to deny, loudly enough to be in every room. And I called it, by other names for a long time. I called it conscience, I called it standards, I called it not letting myself off the hook until I understood the difference between conviction that leads to change and shame that just lives there. Rearranging the furniture of your self-perception every time you think you've settled it.
Conviction says
what you did was wrong. Here is the path to repair it.
shame says
what you did was wrong, and you will never be more than what you did. And those are not the same address.
shame comes to the wrong address.
I moved, I forwarded the mail.
Shame comes to the wrong address.
Grace is what lives here now. I used to let it in, used to make it coffee, used to give it a room.
Shame to the wrong address.
And I watch it from the window now, and I don't answer the door. I don't answer the door. The new address is in Romans 8. The new address is in Ephesians 2. The new address has a name on the deed that isn't mine originally. It was given to me, and the name on the deed is what I answer to now. Not the name shame calls when it comes around. And I wanna tell you something about shame's directional memory. It doesn't update well, it keeps the old coordinates. It doesn't know about the move unless you stop responding to the knock at the old address. Which means every time you answer, you give it a reason to keep coming back to the wrong place. So I stopped answering, not because I deny the past, because I have a different address now. And shame doesn't have the new one, and I'm not giving it out.
Shame comes to the wrong address.
I moved, I forwarded the mail.
Grace is what lives here now.
I watch it from the window, and I don't answer the door. Hebrews 10:17 says their sins and lawless acts I will remember no more. God has deliberately not updated his address book with the location of what was forgiven, which means if he's not keeping that address active, I don't need to either. Shame is working from outdated information about a residence that was vacated at the cross. I no longer live there, and the lease expired before I even knew I could move. Some days I still hear the knock. Habit is powerful, and old addresses stay in the muscle for longer than you'd want. But I know what to do now. I go to the window, I look at what's standing on the old porch, and I say that's not my address anymore. And I go back to the room that Grace furnished.
Wrong address. Wrong address. Wrong address. I moved, I forwarded the mail.
Grace is what lives here.
Wrong address.
Come to the right one.
Grace is here.
Grace is here.
Grace is here.
I wanna talk about the court. You've been running in your own head, where you are the judge, the prosecutor, the defendant, and somehow also the jury. And the verdict always comes back the same. And I wanna tell you something about the jurisdiction of that court. Yeah. You've been prosecuting yourself for something that was already tried in the higher court with better evidence, and a verdict that came back not guilty by reason of grace. And yet here you are, still holding the exhibit list, still rehearsing the closing arguments, still calling witnesses who testified 10 years ago in a case that is no longer on the docket. You are acting as prosecutor in a case that has already been dismissed by the only judge whose verdict is binding, and you keep appealing a decision you didn't make.
And I wanna tell you something
about the defendant in that court. He was acquitted, not because the charges were false, cause a penalty was paid by someone who was not the defendant.
and the court
Accepted that payment and closed the file.
stop prosecuting the man.
God already acquitted, the case is closed.
Stop relitigating it. Stop prosecuting the man.
God already acquitted, the gavel came down.
He said not guilty.
You keep walking into that courtroom with the same exhibit list, but the judge already ruled.
Stop prosecuting the man.
God already acquitted. You are free.
You are free.
Walk out. I know what you bring to court every time you convene this session. You bring the exhibit from 2008, the one with all the details. You bring the testimony from the people you disappointed. You bring a character witness who is just a previous version of yourself, and you present all of it to a judge who keeps saying, case dismissed.
And you keep saying,
But your honor, and the judge keeps saying,
case dismissed.
the payment was accepted, the record was expunged, the defendant is free to go, and you keep standing at the podium because you have not decided yet whether you trust the verdict more than you trust your own prosecution. And trusting the verdict is not minimizing what happened, it's accepting that the verdict was rendered by someone with full knowledge of what happened and rendering it anyway.
Stop prosecuting the man.
God already acquitted, the case is closed.
Stop relitigating it.
The gavel came down.
He said not guilty.
You are free.
Walk out.
Romans 8:1 says, there's therefore now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. Now, not eventually, not after sufficient self-punishment, not when you feel like you've served enough. Now, there is now no condemnation, which means the prosecution has been prohibited by the highest court. And you continuing to prosecute is contempt of that court. So I say this with all respect, for the seriousness of what you did and for the weight you've been carrying. Stop. The man got acquitted, doesn't owe the internal prosecutor one more day in that courtroom. Not one more day. Yeah. I walked out of mine on a Thursday, not because I minimized what happened, because I finally trusted the verdict more than I trusted my own prosecution. And the Thursday air outside that internal courthouse tasted different than any air I'd breathed in the years I kept going back in.
Case dismissed.
Walk out.
Case dismissed.
You're free.
Stop prosecuting the man.
God acquitted, the gavel came down. It's done. Walk out, walk out, walk out. Free, free.
Walk out.
I want to tell you about the kind of grief that doesn't have a timeline and doesn't respond to the platitudes, as well as everyone around you seems to think it should. It was a Tuesday when the world rearranged itself into before and after, and I became a man who lives in the after and still reaches for the phone to call someone who doesn't have a phone anymore. The grief they describe in books is orderly, stages with names, a progression towards something called acceptance. That sounds like a finish line. The grief I know is not orderly. It's the grocery store on a Thursday when a song comes on and the cart stops moving because you are not in the grocery store anymore. You are somewhere else entirely, and nobody around you knows that.
And the world kept going
like nothing happened, and I wanted to stop every car on the highway and tell them that something enormous had occurred, and the day should not look the way the day looks. The grief
nobody talks about
is the 6 a.m. version, the Tuesday version, the song in the grocery store version, the reaching for the phone version.
the grief nobody talks about.
Lives in the ordinary places and ambushes you there, and I wanna say out loud that that's allowed.
That's allowed.
Grief lives where it lives. I wanna talk about the silence, cause nobody talks about the silence. The weeks when heaven felt like a recording, when I said the words I was supposed to say and felt nothing return. And I know what the theology says about feelings and truth, but grief doesn't care what the theology says. Grief is its own weather system, and it doesn't consult the doctrine before it arrives. And I sat in the silence and didn't perform the piece that people expected, and that was the most honest thing I've done in a long time. Because the God who wept at Lazarus' tomb already knew what was about to happen and wept anyway, which means the tears are not a failure of faith. They're the most faithful thing in the moment.
The grief nobody talks about
is the 6 a.m. version, the Tuesday version, the reaching for the phone version. Grief lies where it lives. That's allowed. That's allowed.
Psalm 34.
Psalm 34:18 says, He is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Not after the grief resolves, during it. He is close. During the grocery store Thursday, during the 6 a.m., during the silence that doesn't feel like peace. He is present in the specific coordinates of your specific grief. Not rushing you toward acceptance, present with you in the before and after, in the impossible Tuesday, and all of it. I still reach for the phone sometimes. I don't think that goes away entirely. What changes is the pause after the reach, when I remember, and what I've learned to do in that pause is say a name, not in the absence, into the presence that's in the room. And let the grief be grief, and let the peace be present simultaneously, because they are not mutually exclusive. I had to learn that
He's close to the broken-hearted.
He's close.
He's close
In the 6 a.m.,
in the grocery store.
in the reaching for the phone.
He's close.
He's close. He is close. He is close. I want to tell you something. From the uncomfortable side of the prodigal story, the side where I am not the son, I am the father who left. I had reasons, I always had reasons, and the reasons were real, the way reasons always are. Real enough to justify to yourself, real enough to narrate convincingly, real enough that I almost believed the version where I was the victim of circumstances that happened to involve a child who needed me to make different choices. I was the one who left, and I wanna say that clearly before I say anything else, because the clarity is the beginning of the only thing that might repair this. And my child has been watching the road, the way the father watched the road in the parable, except I am not the father in this version. I am what they've been watching for,
And I am late,
considerably late, and the road back is longer because of the delay. The parent who left, that's what I was,
the parent who left,
carrying reasons like they were luggage. The parent who left is walking back now without the reasons as defense.
just a father,
Who knows what he caused, and is choosing differently,
starting now.
starting now.
I miss things that don't come back, the specific version of those years that existed when they happened, and only when they happened.
I I miss the version of my child that would have been different if I had been present for it. That version doesn't exist now. What exists is the version that was shaped by my absence, and that version is still here and still worth showing up for, which is the second most important thing
I've learned.
The most important thing is that showing up now doesn't erase the not showing up then, and pretending otherwise is the second leaving.
So I'm not coming back with the speech that erases. I'm coming back with the honesty that acknowledges, and the presence that is the only currency
worth anything now. The parent who left,
that's what I was.
the parent who left,
I know what that cost.
the parent who left is walking back now.
Without the reasons as decent.
Starting now.
Luke 15, the Father running. Except today I am practicing what it means to be the one who earns the running toward, not by demanding it, by showing up consistently.
Long enough that the watching of the road gets rewarded by the person it was watching for actually being there. When the road is looked at, and I am gonna be there on every road they look at for the rest of the available time. Is the most honest act of repentance I know how to offer. I drove to the school today without announcing it, and I sat in the parking lot until I saw them, and they didn't see me, and I thought, this is where I start, in parking lots, being present when I'm not required to be, until presence becomes something they expect from me.
Starting now,
Starting now,
the parent who left is coming back.
starting now,
Every road they look at, I will be there.
starting now.